I was kind of having this, like, I'm always having these little epiphanies. I don't know, but I call them insights, whatever. People call them downloads, whatever. My communication, the things that they show me. And one of the things is I started seeing, like, okay, so the Sumerians talk about Enki coming back, right? Our real creator. If you go by the Sumerian tablets, because then, they go through the whole thing in detail about the aliens coming here, messing with the DNA, and keep trying to create their little slave beings so that they could have some slaves. And so, there's been just so much manipulation of information and so much, there's just so much allowed on this planet, is all I can say. A lot of stuff is allowed here that's intense, but no soul, you choose to come here. So if it were, and all of these people who are waiting for the second coming, right? And all of a sudden Inky comes back. I think his name's Inky. I could be saying it wrong, but you know who I'm talking about. Then if he were to come back, there's their coming, their second coming. But I'm feeling like the second coming of Christ is this transformation of Christ's consciousness, this enlightenment age, this time of healing, this time of clear communication, clear vision of what reality really is. So I think it is about the second coming is that awakening, that rebirth, the rebirth of one's soul. That is all of the souls waking up to themselves is that second coming. It is that transformation. You know what I'm saying? So I think, everything is taken as super literal all the time. But, it's symbolic. And then we're trying to, after years and years, and plus you see the manipulation of what they do with the words and the language. And then we go back and we try and, try and figure out what are they saying? Why wouldn't they just keep the same language? Why is it constantly changing? That's on purpose, to keep us confused. And the changing of what words mean. We're watching it happen in real time, how they do it. So it's been done for so long. And it's just such a manipulation of information, but it's all just to control and enslave, to just hold these, it's kind of, I don't want to say mindless souls. It is kind of just like the infancy of souls when they're just out there, who and what am I? What am I doing here? What am I here to do? That kind of, that is where instead, like if you took a society that grasped onto that and wanted the beings to do their best, well, it would be about self-evolvement, right? Like, who are you? What are you? You tell me. Like, let's, explain to me, like, who are you? What does it all mean? And have people really try and understand themselves. But instead, we have a society that is based on, comply, change yourself, being authentic, being yourself. No uniqueness. No, everybody needs to be the same. And we will bully you into being just like everybody else. They don't want people to be different. Because then, how would you explain that? People would always ask that question. Well, why am I different than that one? Why aren't I just like them? Like, we aren't all the same. We are all souls, and we're on a soul journey. And a soul journey is, going through multiple lifetimes for experience, to expand oneself, to understand oneself on a deeper level, to the core. And it develops us as beings, and we carry that imprint with us. From what I'm understanding, I had just seen something about this, and it just totally resonated with me. It totally aligned, because we are carrying our code with us. We carry our genetic code, our DNA code or something. We carry some sort of code of who we are. And we imprint it in every incarnation. And we build on our knowledge that we carry from life to life to life. We build on who and what we are, and faced in this situation, who and what we are faced with this situation. It's a development of self. But, in this reality right here, what we're witnessing is a group of, controlled beings that, they don't live by God's law, because God's law is about freedom, and each soul having the same freedoms as each, there's no difference, there's no hierarchy. We're all just free souls, just doing our thing. And you have other ones that want to control, so in this case, it is being done with so much manipulation, but the manipulation goes back for so long to the very seed of our beginning. Who knows when the information started being manipulated, but it would definitely been, there was a lot of transition. There was a lot of different alien groups coming. There was a lot of people who wanted to be in on the human concept, the human beings that were developing, this being that can hold a soul, an avatar that, is a possibility. It's, it's something that can experience, that can grow, that can learn, that has abilities. And, it's a template that is used on other planets. Like, we're not the only humanoid. So, yeah, they had DNA, they had like a template. They knew what they were doing. They still know what they're doing. And it goes way, way back. And so, yeah, the how complex this control is, and how it developed over time, and how much that they've used it. I mean, I just saw TikTok of a woman in Australia. I guess she was looking at Google Maps or something. I don't remember. I saw another guy who was on Google Maps, I think it was, and he found all of these, a complete, like a highway in the ocean. And they lead to places where there's a whole bunch of intersections that look like it's some sort of town or something. So he is talking about, like, he thinks he's found some ancient kind of civilization under there. And it could be the tunnels. I mean, we know about the tunnels. And he said from his measurements, it looks like each of these lines is at least 4 miles wide. So, he's finding these fascinating things. There's so many people awake and looking for things. I love it. Because I'm information vacuum. I want it all. I want to know it all. And so this girl, though, she, on hers, I swear it was Google Maps or something too, or some sort of satellite thing, but then she found that there's pyramids in Australia, and she's like, I've never heard about this. There's pyramids. So she started looking up about it and started finding more and more information out about it. And, just these hidden truths that they try and hide from us. Like, this has been going on for a very, very, very long time. When I was a little kid, when they were saying that the pyramids were built by humans and we just lost, the technology, we just forgot. We didn't keep developing. We just went backwards. It's like, okay, people, really? You believe this? Like, some things I've said this, I don't know how many times. Some things I have a really hard time wrapping my head around, like, what people believe. But, it's so clear that they are being so misled, because in that infancy of, who and what am I, and when somebody is willing to show you, but they're giving you an artificial you. It's not really you, because it's their system that you're playing in. So it would be like, you're playing the game of life, and you're the little car, and you start really believing that you're the car, you're the car, you're the car, you're the car. No, you're not. You're in the game. It's just a game. So these people are so caught in that. So it keeps them distant from their real selves. They're too focused on the lie, the misery, and all the people, there's so many people are going through so much stuff, and it is giving them that awakening. awakening to their true spirit of who they are. And, that's what's super exciting. But it is this, is a soul, like a developmental stage, and when you move out of that stage, and you go into the other developmental stages, like that you see as a child is born, their stages, because all of the stuff that is shown, it all represents itself in variations and dimensions or realms or however you want to see it in nature, all the way out. Everything is showing what it is. Like when they show you stuff in your head, it is so easy to understand it, but it's so hard to explain it. Like you can see it, you can totally understand, you can totally get what they're saying. But then you start trying to use words and it just becomes like, what? No, it just becomes jumbled up. Like, I think there's some people, I can say it and they will get it because there is like psychic connections and telepathy, it depends on where you resonate. And so some people will get it. It will just come into a clear vision in their head and they'll know it too. And then other people will just sound like gibberish and they'll be like, I don't even know what they're talking about. This is stupid. Move on. But that is the thing about resonance. Like you just know. You don't have to. Like there was nobody ever that could have convinced me that there wasn't ghosts, there wasn't aliens, that aliens didn't build the fucking pyramids, that that we were an experiment. There was nobody ever that could have convinced me. Yeah, I'd stand there, to my dying day saying, yes, there's Bigfoot. Just because you don't see him doesn't mean it's not real. And so many people are just so caught up in like, they've got to see it. I got to see it. It's not real. And so that's what gives me that vision of, the real creator coming back, it's real. And then you see, and some people need to see. They need to understand. This is a very different world than what they think. And they think it's a certain way just because they're being misled, because they're caught up in this three-dimensional, it feels kind of like a three-dimensional prison to me, because it's so controlled and so manipulated and been lied about for so freaking long. But this is the exciting thing, because this is also, Earth, its own self is its own being. It's its own separate, unique being that is presenting as a freaking planet for us to all go and be a part of. When people don't understand what a soul really is, what consciousness really is and what it's capable of, and how important it is to connect on that level. But you have to learn to get to that level. That's the beauty of it. And that's why we have to accept people. We can't sit here and judge them like, oh, they're stupid, they're sheep, they're blind, they're just, it is about ignorance, but it's not because they know the stuff and they're choosing it. They're being withheld information. Their brains are being mind controlled. So, and I think about this a lot. I've talked about this because there's so many people in my family, and it is, I get firsthand look of like what other things are going on here, and there's so much about fear, and even to the point of like, I can't have people laugh at me. I can't have people call me a conspiracy theory. I can't have theorists. I can't have people think I'm not a good person because I don't do this. I can't let people think I'm not a good person. I have to do all these things. This is what's expected of me. I have to do this. These people who are not doing that, what's wrong with them? What's wrong with them, It is, like a toddler watching, their fourth grade sister come home from school, scream at mom, go in her room and slam the door. The toddler sitting there like, what is happening here? This is not okay, But the other person is like, I can decide for myself. This little bit of independence needs to be had. So we've got to break free every little opportunity, everything they give you. They're sitting there saying, oh, you can't have a job. Okay, I don't need your job. You can't have this. Okay, well, okay. You know, what they're taking away from you, you don't need. You don't need what they take away from you to survive. They have you convinced you can't survive without them, but it's a lie. It's all fake. And yeah, there will be people who will transition during this time. Yeah, we can't say like, oh, pull away from the system and everything's going to be fine. No, there will be people who are going to transition out of this this dimension, this reality that we're in right now. They're going to transition out of it. And, you know, but you're going to see them again. This isn't the end. You know, as a matter of fact, when this whole thing goes down, the new earth, or however you want to call it, our new world that we will be, is going to be where those people can be there too. It's like we're moving completely out of this false illusion world where you think you're so limited. It's nothing but limitations, tyranny, control, all to create fear. You're moving into a time, but you have to be that fourth grader. You have to pull away and go, you know, go slam your door, go stomp off and be like, no, I don't want this. I don't need this. Leave me alone. Because that is what moves you into your independent state of being. Yeah, as long as they have you, you know, sucking off their teeth, then you are trapped in their system. So, you know, more power to you. You know, the more you leave, the more you walk away. That is what you want to do. That's what you need to do. It's not like these people like, oh, you know, how dare the schools be doing this? How dare my job be doing this? How dare this? No, it's just showing you like, hey, this doesn't align with me. This is nothing I want to do with. We're not going to change that any more than they can change us. We know what we want, and it's not what they're offering. You know, and we're not going to be able to go in and just change it. No, they have to go. They all have to go. Their education system, their medical community, their banking system, their every freaking, you know, right now they're doing these, you know, smart cities. Amazon's starting their smart city, and see how they work it is just, you know, to get you to be less human and more wanting to just be controlled, to have everything be easy. Everything's right at your fingertip. All you got to do is be right here. But see, when you're in those little cities and you're dependent on them and you aren't an independent soul, then you are subject to whatever they want from you. So they can make demands. They can say anything they want to say to control you. It's to show you that they have control over you. If you don't want to be controlled, your soul's ready to break free. So your soul is ready to push away. And that is when you need to go inside and start really realizing who and what you are. And, you know, you're not somebody who needs to be dependent on them and their smart cities and their fake, weird, chemical-based foods. Oh, another thing, too. I'll just throw this out there right before I go, is I saw another person doing a TikTok, and they were out walking in the rain, and they noticed something weird on them, so they picked it up with some tweezers, and it was moving, and it looked like what you would think would look kind of like a long hair, not a long hair, kind of short hair, but it was kind of bent, so it was very, very small, very thin, and so they get it with the tweezers, and they start seeing it because it's moving, and then they found another one on their pants, so they got it, brought it up, and the things went together. I'm telling you, they are dropping. This is probably some sort of biological thing, you know, to get on you, crawl, get up in your nose, crawl in your ear, infect your fucking brain with the. I mean, right now they're preparing everybody for the zombie apocalypse. They fill these people full of chemicals that no telling. I wish people could just really understand, you know, what's going on here behind the scenes, you know, but we are here fighting, you know, we're fighting for these souls. we're fighting for them even though they don't even know we're fighting for them. So any of you people who are like me and can see this, we just got to keep fighting for them. We can't expect them to see what they can't see. We just have to keep in the fight and keep fighting for freedom, fighting for these souls' independence. And you do it with the light. You do it with information. You just keep bringing the information out, and it spreads through the airwaves. I said that from the day when I very first went on here, and I can't even tell you how many times I've had that affirmed to me. I can be saying something, I can go in and I will hear somebody else saying the exact same thing on the exact same day, over and over and over and over and over. So that's how we defeat them. We don't have to go out and, I'm telling you, all we need is holy water and crucifixes. We don't need a bunch of fucking guns and stuff. Yeah, there's going to be some people who will need guns to protect themselves, but that's what their soul contracted. But, to defeat this evil, freaking crucifixes and holy water, I swear to God, it's prayer, it's faith, it's love, it's unity. That's how we defeat them. Bringing the light to their evil, showing them, exposing them, not letting them hide like the little rats that they are. They want to chase around little kids. They want to take the melanin people and use them as their nectar and destroy their lives. It's disgusting. It makes me sick. And, they are watering humanity down, hence the loss of color. It also has to do with the equator, but it also has to do with a very, I've got a bunch of words coming in, a very nefarious agenda, and it's all about the transhumanism. It's all about getting down there to the very basic, just get them, they see it as like these little animals had their time. We're done with these little animals. Now we're ready we got to get back down to the little soldiers, the little robots that they want. They don't want to have independent thinking beings. That's their worst nightmare. Their worst nightmare is us to claim our authenticity, to know who and what we are, to connect with our spiritual side, to see that we are more, we're connected to all that is, that we are eternal. They have no control over us. We are their worst nightmare, and we will continue this fight, and we will continue to bring the light, because these little rats, they're like the vampires. We bring the light, and they decay, and that's all we got to do. Just keep bringing the light, and stay faithful, and keep in unity, and spread the love, man. Spread the love. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Love you.